Now that the Pittsburgh Steelers are dead and gone and out of the AFC playoffs, let's get real about your head coach. Let's talk seriously about his performances, and let's really truly evaluate him for real and not in that Pittsburgh media tiptoeing around the bullshit type way. Welcome back to Mike Drop Sports. I'm Jason. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about Mike Tomlin, and let's be real about Mike Tomlin. Let's stop tiptoeing around it. I know if you're a Mike Tomlin apologist and you are the type of person that says Mike Tomlin does no wrong, then you might not want to listen to this video, and I'm not trying to offend you. I just want to make sure this channel is always spitting things to you straight. Not lying, not sugarcoating things, not blowing smoke up your ass. I hear a lot of people that want Mike Tomlin gone, that want a fresh start, that are tired of the same old low standard inside of that building. Then you have a group of people inside the fan base that think that just being average is okay, and that's fine. You're allowed to think what you want to think. But in my eyes, if I'm going to tell you the truth, if I'm going to get on this channel and I'm going to talk real to you guys, I'm going to say Mike Tomlin is stale, and he is not performing at the level of a franchise that wins Super Bowls, that wins championships, that is effective inside of the NFL. Mike Tomlin has not done that. He is 0 for 5 in his last 5 playoff games. Yes, one of those is a blowout loss in the AFC Championship game in New England to Bill Belichick, someone who he can't beat, someone who runs him, someone who dogs him, somebody who totally out game plans him. And that's the facts. It is the facts. I applaud Mike Tomlin for his loyalty and his years of service to the city of Pittsburgh. I applaud him for his early career success. But I can't stand here and jump on a table for you guys and scream hallelujah for mediocre, barely making the playoff type seasons and never being able to get a postseason win. I can't do that. And I don't know, maybe you can. I can't. I can't keep sitting here and saying, well, Mike Tomlin isn't that bad. Well, he isn't that bad. I get that. But I can't just say that's the only thing. I just can't keep saying that over and over. There comes a time that I have to get into the nuts and bolts of this. And Mike Tomlin, he wants to be a hard ass up on that podium, walk off when people approach him with questions. All that stuff, that's fine. But man, you got to have some damn results. And just being 500, just being barely above 500, needing him a bunch of help each year to make the playoffs is inexcusable and not the standard that you, the Pittsburgh Steelers, the franchise, the Rooney family, should hold your coaches to. You should look inside that building, and when these players are screaming out to you and telling you in the media the message they want to get out there without trying to make too much drama, you should listen. If you're the Rooneys and the Pittsburgh Steelers organization, the front office staff, you should listen. Najee Harris basically came out and said that there is no discipline, there is no structure, there is no pattern on how to win. There is no preparation type discipline. Like, guys, get in this. You got to be in this film room. You got to be doing this. You got to be putting in the extra. You got to be motivated to want to do it on your own. And I get you're dealing with professional athletes. They are grown-ass men. You shouldn't have to tell them what to do. But guess what, guys? You do. Guys in their early 20s, young 20s, aren't real men yet. 99% of them. They're not the type that you're going to be able to just let go without providing any sort of structure and rely on them to get what they need to get done. And I'm sure there's veterans inside that building that don't get done what they need to get done. I understand sometimes you have to bring in older guys to patchwork things and try to make things work, to try to bridge through till you can get somebody maybe in the draft or somebody better in free agency once you free up some cap money. But bringing in old dead projects from other teams that can't perform well, it has to be done. You can't keep doing that all the time. That can't be your solution to fix everything. I.e. Patrick Peterson. I'm just saying. And there's many other examples. We could dive into 100 of them, but we won't. We won't. But the Pittsburgh Steelers have to figure this shit out, guys. You can't keep coming out with the same damn product year after year and expect different results. It's absolutely insane. It's the definition of insanity. And we, the fan base, have a right to be pissed. Have a right to go off about this. Have a right to bitch about this. We're the ones that pay our money to watch this team. We're the ones that support this franchise. We're the reason that this franchise is able to exist. We're the ones that watch it on TV. We buy the memorabilia. We pay for the tickets. We do. And for people, players, coaches, organizations as a whole to sit there and say, oh, the fan base should just keep it shut. They should just butt out. Bullshit. Bullshit. We pay the wages. We contribute to that. We keep that organization running without the fan base, without the people that are sitting here bitching about it, bitching about the subpar performances. There is no Pittsburgh Steelers. There is no NFL. It's just crazy, guys. And you couple that with things that are internalized in the NFL, such as shitty refereeing, horrible play, horrible flags that are thrown sometimes, rules that you can't decipher because there's so many damn rules, so much protection, so many tiptoeing around because they don't want to offend anybody or do anything like that. Well, it's bullshit. You're ruining the game. It's just crazy, guys. Crazy. What kind of NFL this has evolved into. But let's get back to what we're really talking about, and that is Mike Tomlin and his bullshit ways, the bullshit of just being mediocre. When does Mike Tomlin have to answer to just being mediocre? When does he start to change things up? When does he start to adjust his methods? Because they don't work. You hear guys like Rich Eisen in the national media, guys, that say, Pittsburgh Steelers fans, you would be truly depressed and everything would fall apart if Mike Tomlin were gone, blah, blah, blah. He's the best thing since sliced bread, all this bullshit. Well, I'm sorry, Rich. I know you're a fan of the Jets, and you often compare it to the Jets saying, oh, well, the Jets haven't done this. The Jets haven't been to the playoffs in this amount of time. The Jets haven't won a championship since this. We don't give a shit about the Jets, bro. We don't give a shit about the Jets. And if we hold ourselves as the Pittsburgh Steelers franchise to that standard of being the Jets and being satisfied with comparing ourselves to teams like the Jets, then we're in real damn trouble. And I don't even want to be a fan anymore because I wouldn't tolerate that type of losing year after year and still be cool with it and just say, well, it's cool with Mike. As long as Mike Tomlin gets one win over 500 every year, we're okay with it. That's good enough. It's okay to need a bunch of help at the end of the season to squeak into the playoffs and just get in a little, just barely get in. And it's okay that we take ass beatings in the first half and we can't even compete in these playoff games. Yeah, in the last 5 playoff games, guys, I know he got 2 wins in 2016 ahead of that AFC Championship game, but he got his ass beaten, embarrassed at that AFC Championship game in Foxborough on national television in front of everybody. Didn't even compete. The Pittsburgh Steelers haven't really even competed in these games. Yes, in Buffalo on Sunday, they got to within 1 score, and then what happened? Mike Tomlin's so-called elite premier defense, the defensive-minded head coach, his defense collapsed. It collapsed big time in the biggest moment. Couldn't get that ball back. Couldn't get one stop to give that offense one more chance to tie this ball game up. Yes, the offense made mistakes. Yes, the offense turned the ball over. Yes, that all happened. But it's a team. And you got to hold up your end of the bargain just the same. I heard Cam Hayward. I love Cam Hayward. Excellent guy in the community. I think he should be the Walter Payton Man of the Year. But is he still that guy that needs to be back in a Steelers uniform? I'm not sure of that. But you heard Cam Hayward basically in his media availability yesterday kind of call out the offense for that turnover in the end zone. Rightfully so. But you better damn well take accountability for the bullshit failure of your defense whenever they get you within one score. 7 points. I'm just saying. It's a team. It's not just about one side of the ball. And until the Pittsburgh Steelers organization remembers that it's all about the team, this doesn't change. Until this Pittsburgh Steelers organization stops being okay with average, this doesn't change. And if you're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, we have to be real. We have to stop coming onto these YouTube channels, coming onto these podcasts, and apologizing and trying to find every damn reason why this doesn't work besides what the real reasons are. And I'm at fault for that too. You heard Jay Lamorne yesterday talking about, hey, I think the reason we were successful in these final 3 weeks ahead of this playoff game was because we started to come together as a football team. We started to prepare as a football team. We started to jail. We started to be aggressive. And then what happens when you go to Buffalo? You have a guy that preaches, I don't live in my fears. What does he do? He lives in his fears. Non-aggressive game plan, horrible game plan on defense, unable to do things that are very, very obvious to everybody that's just a common damn fan. Common. We're common. We shouldn't be able to think of different things that they should be able to do, and they're not changing. They're not adapting. They're not adjusting. They didn't adjust at halftime. They still wheeled out the same damn thing. Then you leave players on the bench. You leave things in the cupboard that you shouldn't have. Especially in a playoff game, you empty the damn chamber. You empty it all out there. You don't let anything out on the field. And Mike Tomlin continually lives in his fears. Continually doesn't do the adjustments. Doesn't make adjustments. Doesn't, oh my Lord, just does not change. Just doesn't change. And when are we as the fan base going to just be sick of it and stop wanting to hear it? I'm there. I'm there. Am I giving up on the Steelers? No. Am I not going to watch the Steelers? No, I'm going to watch the Steelers. I love football. I love the entertainment value. But man, when you watch your team fail, and there's obvious reasons why they're failing right in front of their damn face, it becomes an issue. And you need to have episodes like this where you spout the truth. And I don't want to dog the media of Pittsburgh. I'm not trying to do that, guys, at all. I'm not in any way, shape, or form. And I understand that they got to tiptoe around the Pittsburgh Steelers. Why? Because they're probably afraid of getting their media credential pulled. Just saying, think about it. They can't ask all the tough questions. They have to be very selective on what they can ask, and that is fact, and they can all tell you that that's not the case, but that's bullshit. Just saying. There's some hard questions, ask them. Pound those questions. Don't just try to be buddy-buddy with these guys. That's not your job. Yes, you can have good relationship with them, but you can prove yourself by just being honest, legitimate, and only reporting the truth. And that's what you need to do in my eyes. And I'm not dogging them. I wouldn't want to get my media credential pulled either, but I'm not inside of that building, and I don't have to tiptoe about it. I don't have to sit there and kiss ass of the Pittsburgh Steelers front office. I don't have to do that. So I'm going to give it to you exactly how everybody is seeing it, but just doesn't want to say it. And that is, Mike Tomlin is stale, and his time has passed. It's time for the Pittsburgh Steelers to move on. Yes, give him this year. Okay, that's fine. You don't fire a guy that's been loyal to you. I get that. And I think that is a admirable thing. Don't fire him. Let him finish out his contract. If he wants to come back, if he's learned how to change his ways and learned how to adapt to today's NFL, so be it. Then try to give him a contract extension. But if Mike Tomlin remains the same Mike Tomlin that we've been accustomed to seeing for the last decade, it's time to go. And if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers, there is no way in hell that I would renew a contract for a guy that refuses to change and that is absolutely stubborn. If you want to have your hands in the plow in everything of that organization, you want to have complete control of that organization, you have to run it like a business and not like a good old boys club. You can't. And that's what I think Mike Tomlin runs this organization like, the good old boys club. And you can't do that. You can't kiss the ass of some players. And I'm not going to use New England a lot as like the model franchise because I thought Tom Brady was the real reason that they won. But I felt like Bill Belichick was a disciplinarian type guy. And you heard players that have went there, former Pittsburgh Steelers, that have said, you go into that building, everybody's accountable, including the great Tom Brady. The greatest of all time. He's accountable. He is not given a free pass. And then you hear things inside of the Steelers organization to where Big Ben Roethlisberger was basically allowed to do and say whatever the hell he damn wanted to. And I don't want to hear the excuse, he's the franchise guy, blah, blah, blah. No, bullshit. Everybody follows the same damn set of rules. Everybody is accountable for their preparation. If you are not accountable for yourself, you are not prepared to be on that football field. I don't give a shit if you're the greatest football player of all time. You aren't playing. And that goes for the coaches. Sit your ass down there. You're not calling the defense today. You're not calling the offense today because you're not prepared. You didn't put in the time. I'm not saying that happens. I'm just saying that would be the case if I were in charge. And that should be the case for Mike Tomlin too. Sometimes you have to put your damn foot down. I'm going to have to get off this soapbox. We really didn't go over his numbers. You know his numbers, guys. 17 years, no losing seasons. Whoopee shit. One Super Bowl loss. With a team that he didn't construct, we'll say that. And I've always said that I didn't like to say that. But we'll say that. A team that he didn't fully construct. Maybe he had his handprint on it a little bit. But team he didn't really construct. It is what it is. We'll say the truth. We're talking truth now about Mike Tomlin. And we'll say what the truth is. And he didn't construct those football teams. They were leftovers from Bill Cowher's football team. And Mike Tomlin, since that time, since those first 5 years, has been mediocre at best, a losing playoff record, and has lost his last 5 playoff games, and has gotten blown out in the first half every single damn time he's got on the field in the last 5 times. The proof's in the pudding. And if you want to continue to have that stale, that same mediocre attitude, that loser's attitude, that's fine. That's cool. That's your own opinion. You are allowed to like Mike Tomlin, and I'm not here to sway you in any way. I am only here to tell you the truth, the realistic appearance of what it actually looks like. I'm not here to sugarcoat it. I'm not here to be the ultimate yinzer. Am I a yinzer? Hell yeah, dude. I love my Steelers. I love the team. I love everything about that city. I love it. I'm a yinzer till I die. But I'm also a realist. I'm also a realist, guys. And when there's a problem, I'm going to say what the problem is. And I hope you guys respect that. I hope you guys admire somebody to give you the truth. I think that's the way I have to be with you. And we're going to continue to be real about all these players on this roster. We're going to break everybody down. We're not just picking on Mike Tomlin. He just happens to be the head coach, and he happens to be the first head to roll in our process of breaking this shit down. He just happens to be the first guy we go after here. Well, not go after, but talk about. He just happens to be the head man, and that's what comes with it. We're going to break down the rest of this coaching staff. We're going to try to figure out an offensive coordinator option for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Just to think and try to figure things out. We're going to break down each player, and we're not going to sugarcoat it anymore. The season's over. We're not going to try to keep all the spirits high and try to keep the fan base pumped up with what we do. We're going to give you the real nuts and bolts of what's going on inside of this organization, and that's just what it is. So, guys, let's break this down. Let's wrap it up. This is Mike Drop Sports. I appreciate you guys keep coming back. Share this video. Let's get the news out there. Let's share that Mike Tomlin isn't what these people think he is. That Mike Tomlin isn't the greatest coach of all time, guys. And I know players say that they want to play for him and they wouldn't want to play for anybody else. Well, yeah, I wouldn't either. If I didn't have any rules or structure, if I was allowed to do whatever the hell I wanted to, I wouldn't want to play for anybody else either. It would be fun, no doubt. But if you're one of those players that are cool with that, then you just got to accept being mediocre and never going to be able to reach the mountaintop of your career. You're never going to be able to reach the pinnacle of your career because you are inside an organization that doesn't value the discipline that it takes to be able to get to that pinnacle of your sport. It is what it is, and you can lie to yourself and say all the different things you want to say. You could be a player like TJ Watt, Cam Hayward, guys that do, Minka, that maybe do study their ass off, that do the things that they're supposed to do, that are real Steelers, that really give the effort. But you got, for every one of those, there's 10 other ones that don't. For every one of those, there's 10 other guys that don't give a shit, that just want their payday. Truth is what the truth is, guys. And until next time, I'm Jason. This is Mike Drop Sports. Like, share, subscribe. And we'll see you on the next one. Peace.